Hello everybody, welcome to your gentle flow and your deep stretch. So today we're going to kind of work a little bit on everything. If you would like to use my Spotify playlist, you can look me up under Lara Beth Lopez. And today I'm going to use a playlist that is called, let me pull this open. A playlist that is called, we'll go to Open, O-P-E-N. So it's just a nice, gentle, soothing playlist. So if you don't have this one, you can play anything else at all that suits you today for your practice. I do recommend having 2 blocks or something that you can use like blocks. It could be 2 books that are roughly the same size. Just something to use as a support, because there will be a couple of times where I cue things, or it might feel better if you have these with you. So let's go ahead and start off in an opening child's pose. So you'll bring I'm going to have you start off in a traditional child's pose today rather than an open leg. So bring your knees and your inner thighs together, the tops of your feet down. And then shift your hips back towards your heels and walk your arms forward. Now you could take your arms all the way out and let your forearms kind of line up to the outer edge of your mat. Let your forehead come down. You could also walk your arms forward so that the elbows lift up slightly. You take what you need to do. And allow for your chest to drape on top of your thighs. Let your shoulders soften back and down. Breathe in and know that you're breathing in. And breathe out. Know that you're breathing out. Turn your focus to your breath here. And as you inhale, you might feel your rib cage kind of expand and open and press into the tops of your thighs. And as you exhale, draw it in and up and soften your shoulders back from your ears. Inhale, take a deep breath in. And exhale, let it all go. Inhale. And exhale. Now take a deep inhale. Your eyes could be closed. On the exhale, roll your forehead over to the right, so you're kind of onto your right temple. It's a little bit different when your knees are together rather than apart. And then you inhale, roll back through, kind of on your hairline maybe. It could be over your third eye center. And as you exhale, roll to the left. And then just take this side to side. Massaging your forehead. Relaxing your shoulders from your ears. And if at any point you feel like you would rather take your knees out wide, feel free to do so. Big toes stay touching. You'll notice more space for your torso to drape down towards the ground, less support for your spine on top of the legs. Good, y'all. Just tap into that even breath. Your inhale and your exhale match both in duration and intensity. And let's take just a couple more breaths here without moving anything else, just rolling the forehead side to side. Notice if you feel any difference already mentally, emotionally, stress level wise. And then you'll come back through center. Inhale to walk your arms forward. And then as you exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Go thumb to thumb. Let your forehead come down to the ground. Your hips sink back towards your heels. Your right hip draws back and away from your right shoulder. And you just breathe. And then as you inhale, slide your hands back through center. And on the exhale, walk them all the way over to the right. Thumb next to thumb. Relax your shoulders back and down. Breathe in and know that you're breathing in. And breathe out. Know that you're breathing out. Your next inhale, gently slide back through center. And as you exhale, press up onto all fours, hands and knees, your box pose. Spread your fingers out wide, stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Your knees underneath your hips. On your inhale, let your soft belly drop down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then you exhale, reverse the movement. Navel to your spine, dome out your upper back, tuck your chin towards your chest. And then you inhale, let a soft belly drop down. There's a sway to your low back as you lift your gaze. And then you exhale, tuck your tail, chin towards your chest, and separate your shoulder blades. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale, the belly down. Your heart presses between your upper arm bones. And then exhale, belly up. Press the earth away with long, strong arms. Now on your inhale, come back into a neutral spine. On the exhale, you could sway your hips from side to side. Those of you needing something a little bit more out of this vertical plane, you'll start to swim your hips to the left, down towards your heels, over to the right, leading with the shoulders maybe. It could even look very different from what you see right here. If you're quiet enough in your mind, you can hear the feedback from your body so that you know how to respond appropriately. Good, y'all. Take your next inhale, come back into your box pose. On the exhale, take your right foot out to the right, all 5 toes pointing towards the top of your mat. Root down into your right palm, and then inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. On the exhale, thread the needle. Your left arm reaches your left hand towards your right big toe. It's okay if it doesn't get there. Let your left shoulder, your ear, your temple come down to the mat. Reach your right arm forward. Take an inhale. You could stay right there. You could wrap your right arm on the small of your back as you exhale. Don't go too far, too deep. It's early in your practice. Just breathe into your upper back, into your thoracic spine, your rhomboids. And then also notice what's happening around your sternum, your chest, as you open your clavicles towards the sky. Maybe your gaze goes towards the ceiling, your chin towards your right clavicle, your collarbone. Now if your right arm did anything different from the ground, reach your right hand back up to the sky. On the exhale, bring your right hand down to the earth. As you inhale, lift your left arm back up to the sky. And then on the exhale, your left hand comes down and shift your hips back into your funky child's pose. So your right leg is still extended long, your hips back towards your left heel, and reach your arms forward. It's okay if you don't come all the way down. We're trying to press actively into the outer edge of the right foot. Just breathe in. and out. And then you inhale, stack your shoulders back over your ribs. And bring your right knee back into your box pose as you exhale. On your inhale, let your soft belly drop down, lift your chin, lift your tail. And then you exhale, reverse the movement, navel to your spine at your cat pose. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine. And on the exhale, let your left foot come out to the side body, all 5 toes point forward. Left hand stays rooted into the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And then you exhale, thread the needle, right arm underneath your left. Take your right ear, your right temple down to the earth. And breathe here. So your left arm can reach forward. It can wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. It's whatever you need it to be. And you spend several breaths here. So maybe up to 5, 6, 7, yeah? And you just notice with every single inhale and exhale, what shows up? Like what adjustments need to be made, if any? Do you slowly begin to roll to the back of your head and take your chin towards your left shoulder, your left clavicle? That's a pretty deep opener for this early in your practice. So it's one of those things where you just naturally kind of go there. That's not something I would try to force to happen right now. Just keep breathing. Now if your left arm did anything else, reach it up to the sky. Plant your left hand down in front of your face, and then you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. And then you exhale your right hand down. Shift your hips back towards your right heel and reach your arms forward. Relax your shoulders from your ears. You could let your forehead come down. Press actively into the outer edge of your left foot. Breathe here, y'all. When you're ready, inhale, stack your shoulders back over your wrists. And then exhale, bring your left knee back to your box pose. As you inhale, belly down, lift your chin, lift your tail. On the exhale, arch your upper back, dome out your shoulder blades, navel to your spine. Curl up your toes as you inhale. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. Hips high, chest in towards your thighs. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. And your hands are about shoulder width distance apart. Now, if those typical measurements don't suit your body, and when you do that it feels off, then you can play around with that, right? Maybe your hands need to be closer together. Maybe your hands or feet need to be farther apart. Now inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. On the exhale, take your heels to the right, hips to the right. Inhale, come back through center, roll on the balls of your feet. And then exhale, take your heels to the left, your hips kind of sway to the left. Inhale, right back to center. Now on your exhale, let your heels get heavy and take your chest in towards your thighs. Breathe. Inhale, soft bend to your knees, look forward. And then exhale as many steps as you need to get your feet to your hands. Inhale to your halfway lift. Let your fingertips come to the shins. Tabletop your back. Excellent, y'all. And then exhale, take your chest to your thighs. Maybe you take opposite elbows with your hands and drape your chest over your thighs and sway side to side. Either way you breathe. And then let your fingertips come down to the ground. Halfway lift on the inhale, tabletop your back. You could heel toe your feet together if that's appropriate for your body, and then forward fold as you exhale. Now come all the way to standing as you inhale. Arms out and up, look up. Hands to heart center as you exhale, lift your chest. Thumbs to your sternum, engage your legs. Good. Now on your inhale, reach your arms out and up, look up. And then as you exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, chest to your thighs. Taking that 3 times through your half sun salutation. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, adding a side body stretch. On the exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches up and over. On the inhale, both arms high. As you exhale, left arm down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Inhale, come all the way to standing, arms out and up. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up and over. Inhale, take both palms high. Exhale, hinge at your hips. You can bend the knees as much as you need to forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Come all the way up to standing as you inhale, last round. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches. Inhale, take both arms to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Take an inhale. Now step your right foot to the back of your mat and then turn your toes out and your heels in. Reach your arms out and up. And then as you exhale, sit this down into a goddess, it's a wide yoga squat, I guess. We're just gonna fire up the legs a little bit. So don't be scared to take a few pulses here. Feel the inner thighs, the groin, the quads. You could even inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, cactus your arms down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus your arms down. So we're just taking a few movements here to warm up your legs before we really move into this part where we stretch everything out. So could you drop just a little bit lower, lift your chest and zip your low belly in and up. Yeah? Good. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take an inhale. Sit a little bit lower as you exhale. Good. Take one more inhale. Straighten your legs and step your right foot to the top of your mat as you exhale and pedal out your heels. Reach your arms out and up as you inhale. And then hinge at your hips to forward fold as you exhale. This is where you might grab onto your blocks. Halfway lift as you inhale. And then step your left foot to the back of your mat as you exhale. Bring your left knee down to the earth. So starting off in this low lunge. So allow for your right knee to create a 90-degree bend. I'll slide my blocks forward so you can see for a moment. So the right knee is bending. It makes a 90-degree angle. Now this is a great place to have blocks on either side of your front foot. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. Lift your chest. You're here for several breaths, right? So you could stay right here. If you have your hands and you're able to bring them down to the mat or onto your blocks, maybe you take an inhale, and on the exhale, you lift your left knee and stretch out the top of your left foot. Feel it out. If you go into it and then you decide you don't like it, you can always just bring your left knee right back down. Keep breathing here. Take one more inhale. Let your knee come down to the ground as you exhale. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest as you inhale. Now shift your hips back. You can slide your blocks back with you. Straighten your right leg and flex your toes back towards your shin as you exhale. Now ideally your hips stay over your left knee, so kind of watch where that goes. Flex your right toes back towards your shin. Good. Take an inhale. And then really dial your navel towards your right thigh as you exhale. Now from here, You could inhale, kind of let your belly drop down like you would in a cow pose, and then exhale, arch your upper back and navel to your spine like you would a cat pose. Inhale, flare your tailbone towards the back, lean forward with your chest. Exhale, tuck your tail slightly, navel to your spine. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into your neutral half split. Now on the exhale, spin your left toes out to the, technically they're going to spin in the right direction, but they're spinning out. And then take your right pinky toe and lay it down on the ground. So your right toe is flexing, your right foot is flexing towards the top of your mat. You can feel a swivel to your hips a little bit here as your left hip starts to pull forward and your right hip pulls back, really working into the IT band here. And it's a little bit different than the way that we normally do it, right? So you could also pick up your left block and place it over here outside of your right leg. Pull your belly in and up. Lengthen your spine, open your chest, and keep breathing. You could bring your blocks down to a lower level here if you feel stable and like you need more. And breathe. Keep flexing your right toes back towards your shin. And then as you're ready, if you took your blocks down lower, lift them back up. Left hand comes over, and go ahead and bring your right hand inside of your right foot as you swivel back towards the top of your mat. Slowly walk yourself back forward, bend into your right knee. So some people call this a runner's lunge. It's also your lizard lunge. Your left knee is down on the ground. Your right knee tracks your heel or your ankle, but keep lifting up through your chest for a moment. However, as we get deeper into this, zip up the low belly. You could come down to your forearms, yeah. Just breathing here. And then make sure that your head is not lifted up unnecessarily, like in an awkward angle. So I sometimes kind of move my head around to make sure that my neck is relaxed and released. You're breathing. Now you could stay right here. You could roll out to the edge of your right foot. If you really need a quad stretch today, you could bend your left knee and bring your heel in towards your glute. We do this one a lot. You could stay right here if you absolutely need it. You reach your right hand back and catch your left ankle. Draw it in towards your glute. And then from here, you can kick into your right hand and open your right shoulder a little bit more. Watch your left shoulder, your left elbow. And then it's a very soft release. Your right hand comes back down to the floor, your left foot also. Now bring both hands down to the ground and step back into your box pose. So slide your hands underneath your shoulders. You might have to move all of this stuff out of the way for a second, your blocks. On your inhale, belly down, lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on your exhale, reverse the movement, navel to your spine and dome out your upper back. Good. On your inhale, come back into your neutral spine. So from your box pose, slide your blocks back up towards the top of your mat. And then as you are ready, step your left foot forward now. And I'm going to slide this underneath my right knee so that I have a little bit more padding. And then again, create that 90-degree bend with your left knee. And there's a diagonal happening from your right hip to your thigh to your knee. Blocks framing the front foot. Roll your shoulders back and down. So you want to lift your chest here and zip your low belly in and up, firmly rooting your palms into your block. Take an inhale right here. You could stay right in this spot, or if you're ready, you could exhale. Lift your right knee and stretch the top of your right foot. You're only here for a few breaths. Take one more inhale right here with the right knee lifted. On your exhale, let your right knee soften down. Open up your chest, lift your chest. Take an inhale right here in your low lunge. On the exhale, shift your hips back. Slide your blocks back with you. And then flex your left toes back towards your shin. Good. Now we start off, you want your hips to be over your right knee. And you want your left toes to flex back. And you can kind of extend your tailbone towards the back of your mat, right? Take the heart towards your left ankle. Good. Now feel free to stay right here or just like on the other side. As you inhale, you kind of let your soft belly drop down like you would for a cow pose. And then on the exhale, you arch your upper back and tuck your tail. Inhale, extend your tail towards the back, your heart forward. And then exhale, arch your upper back and tuck your tail. Good. Inhale, last one. Tailbone towards the back, your heart presses forward, long neck. And then exhale, arch your upper back and tuck your tail. Inhale, come back into a neutral spine. Now here's where we do that different kind of movement. Slide your right foot. Now it's going to actually slide towards the left direction. You're sliding it out off of your mat. And then dial your left pinky toe down. So what we're doing here is creating a little bit of a swivel here so that you twist kind of at the hips. And then you keep flexing through your left foot. Now you could slide the block that your left hand is on back. And you could bring your right hand block to the outside of your left leg. Then you're just here breathing. Relax your brows and your jaw. Keep your left toe flexed and your pinky toe down if you can. If you feel like this is too much, you could softly bend into your left knee, right? But notice that it's your right hip pulling forward and your left hip pulling back. Yeah, you almost feel like there's a squeeze happening at the inner thighs. Work your IT band. Keep breathing. Take one more inhale. Now let your right hand and your block come back over, swiveling back towards the top of your mat. And let both blocks come to the inside of your left foot. Slide your right knee back. Now pull your heart forward as you inhale. You're in your low runner's lunge or lizard lunge, whatever you like to call it. You can stay right here, but remember to roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, or you can come down to your forearms, deepening the sensation of whatever's happening for you more than likely, right? And then you just keep breathing right here. Zip the low belly in and up. Take an inhale. And then notice how your hips begin to gravitationally pull towards the mat as you exhale. So you're not just collapsing, they're not dropping, but you do feel how they begin to open and get pulled down naturally. Now you can take an inhale, you can stay here. You could roll to the outer edge of your left foot if that's your jams today. Yeah, see what you need. You could bend your right knee, bring your heel in towards your seat. We've been here before. Only if you absolutely need it, you reach your left hand back and catch your right ankle, yeah? And then you could kick your foot into your hand and stretch your left side chest, your pectorals, your shoulder, but keep your head long so that your neck is long and strong. There's nothing happening in the neck or in the traps. Good, y'all. And then gently release your right foot down. Let your hands come back to your blocks. Now from here, curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. This is your inhale. And then turn all 10 toes to the right so that you come into your prasarita, your wide leg straddle as you exhale. I'm just gonna flip around so that, yeah. So your toes are either at 12 o'clock or they're slightly pigeon-toed, right? So on your inhale, you can leave your blocks right there on the long edge of your mat. Take a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, slide your hands down to the mat. Bend your elbows, point them towards the opposite long edge of your mat. Inhale, we halfway lift again. And then as you exhale, slide your hands where they fall in between your 2 feet. Your elbows point back. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Press all four corners of both feet down to the ground. Tuck your chin. And then the crown of your head can come down towards the mat. If you have the natural space to do so, you could take the heel of your palm and go flush to the long edge of your mat with all 10 fingers pointing towards your blocks. Let the crown of your head hang down. Relax your shoulders from your ears and just keep breathing. And then you have one more inhale. Walk your hands forward. Lift your chest about halfway, so flat spine. Now on the exhale, you're going to turn your toes slightly to the right. Bend into your right knee, straighten your left leg, and you're in a high skandasana to the back of your mat. So your right knee is bent, your left leg is straight. Pull your low belly in and up, broad collarbones. And think of your shoulders and your hips and your spine, tailbone and all, creating one straight line. You could take your blocks with you here. You can place them underneath your hands. Good, y'all. Take one more inhale and feel free to stay here if this is what's right for you today. Otherwise, as you exhale, bend deeper into your right knee. And then flex your left toes up towards the sky. So this is your low skandasana, your low side lunge. You might need to kind of focus on the internal rotation of your left thigh bone so that your toes continue to point up to the sky rather than rolling out. And then just breathe here, y'all. Breathe into this. And bring your hands back to your blocks. You can slide them back to that spot right into the center of the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips. Walk yourself back through center. And then on the exhale, turn your toes slightly to the left. Bend into your left knee and straighten your right leg. You can slide your blocks closer towards the top of your mat now. Navel to your spine, left knee is bent, so you're just warming up before going into that low side lunge. Breathe in and know that you're breathing in. Breathe out. Know that you're breathing out. One more inhale. Now you could stay right here or drop down into that low variation as you exhale. Now your left knee is deeply bent and your right leg is straight. Focus on the internal rotation of your right thigh so that your toes are pointing up towards the sky. And breathe. Now you can bring your hands to heart center. You can bring your hands to your blocks. It doesn't matter. But squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. Lift your chest. Keep breathing. You got this. And turn your face side to side. Check in with your neck. Your traps, relaxed, released. You're not having to do anything right here. You're just breathing and allowing for the groin, the inner thigh, the strengthening of your left ankle, all that good stuff. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down. Inhale to lift your hips. Take one forward fold as you exhale. Drape your chest in between the thighs. Relax your shoulders. And then inhale to your halfway lift. On the exhale, flip towards the top of your mat. Bring your back knee down and just step your other foot back. So you're in your box pose. From here, walk your hands out just a little bit so that they're very slightly misaligned from your shoulders, because you're going to inhale and rock forward so that you're in a modified plank. Roll your shoulders back and down. Now this is your gentle flow and stretch, but I do want your arms to be warmed up enough to make sure that they're ready to be stretched. So take an inhale. On the exhale, point your elbows back and lean down with your chest. Good. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lift yourself back up. And then exhale, bend your elbows to come down. One last time. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, come all the way down. Now let your toenails go down into the earth. I'm going to slide my blocks out of the way for now. And then take your right arm out to shoulder height. Palm face down. Let your right ear come to the ground. Bend your left knee. Take an inhale. Your left hand is right in front of it's right underneath your left shoulder. Press into your palm and roll over your right arm as you exhale. Let your left foot come down just behind your right hamstring. And breathe here. Now your left arm could reach up and back if that feels appropriate to you. Your fingers could interlace if they find one another. Keep breathing. Some of you may have the space to roll a little bit deeper and bend both knees and bring both feet down onto the floor. If that creates pain, it does cause my head to lift up a little bit. You could always bring a block and place it underneath your head, or just hold yourself up here. Just make sure you're not stiffening up anything, over engaging or anything like that. Nothing should feel awkward. Yeah? Good. And when you're ready, soft release. Left hand comes over. Right leg extends, and then you roll back onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You can bend your knees, windshield wiper out the knees for a moment, and then we're just going to take the opposite side. So let your knees, your toes come down to the ground. Take your left arm out, palm face down, and you've got to make sure you're at shoulder height. That's important. Now bend your right knee, take your left ear to the ground, press your right palm into the ground. And then as you exhale, just roll over your left arm. Stay here for a few moments first before you do anything else. And then maybe your right arm reaches up and over, it finds your left hand. Without too much extra work, right? It should just kind of happen. And then maybe you roll onto your low back, onto your bottom, and your left foot comes to the ground, and now you have both knees bent, both knees pointing to the sky. Again, this is not for everyone, so please make sure you're being careful, and if it doesn't work, don't push it. Just breathe. And then slowly let your left leg re-extend. If you changed it, your right arm comes back over. Slowly roll back onto your belly and onto your hips. Bring your left hand underneath your shoulders. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then when you're ready, you can slowly bring your forearms parallel to the top of your mat and rest your forehead on your hands. Your toenails are down. If you need something a little bit more, you can angle your forearms in to where it looks like you're making the two top sides of an equilateral triangle, and press your palms together. Fingertips towards the top of your mat, and you slightly lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. And you can just kind of look side to side. Stretch through your belly. Breathe in and know that you're breathing in. Breathe out and know that you're breathing out. When you're ready, bring back to the ground. You can bring your chest down first. You're gonna curl your toes up underneath you, press up into your box pose. Take an inhale, and then hips back towards your heels for a child's pose on the exhale. Relax your shoulders back and down. Let your forehead roll from side to side. Release your neck. And then we come back into our box pose. We all meet there. And then from here, in your box pose, take your right shin and cross it on top of your left calf. So the way this is gonna work, you just take your right shin and start to rub it into your left calf. And you can start pretty close to your knee joint, your crease. And then you just kind of roll it down. At some point you're gonna get to tender spots. You can go all the way down towards your ankle and rub all of that out with your shin bone. And then you can also find a spot and then sit yourself down. Oh, that's the spot for me right there. Where it feels a little bit tender, yeah? And you're just trying to work your shin all the way down. It's almost like a, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like a tube of toothpaste. Oh, just rub that for a second. Oof. And then release, and we'll take it to the other side. But first, step your left foot back and stretch your calf for a second. Roll forward and backward. And then cross your left shin to your right calf. You can go up high and towards the knee crease to start, yeah? And just kind of rub side to side or around in like a little circle. You'll eventually hit the spot. You'll find it where it's like tender. You can go all the way kind of down towards your ankle. You might have to rub a few times this way until you find that spot. When you find the spot, sit back on it. Yeah, oh, you can even come down to your elbows. Breathe for a moment. And slowly come back up. Take your time now. Bring your left knee back into your box pose. Step your right foot back onto the ball mounds of your foot and then stretch it forward and backward. All right, y'all. From here, bring your right knee back in towards your box pose. Grab your block, place it between your heels, and sit back onto your block. If you don't have a block, just bring your heels together for a supported hero's pose. Now bring your knees and your inner thighs together. Roll your shoulders back and down and sit up as tall as you can. So think of stacking your vertebrae one at a time like a staircase, and then roll your shoulders back and down. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Good, and then rest your hands in your lap. Just breathe here. Start to feel the opening of the tops of your thighs. So some of you might not need the block underneath you. That's totally fine. If you don't need the block, don't take it. You can slide it out from underneath you and sit down on your bottom and slide your heels outside of your hips with the soles of your feet facing up. Good, y'all. Maybe 3 more rounds of breath right here. And as you're here, prepping to move into our camel pose, which may not sound very gentle, flow, deep, stretchy, but I want to remind you that back bends are, yes, back body strengthening, but they are front body stretching, okay? So go ahead and come up onto your knees and your shins, grab your block, and place it in between your thighs. Now, if you don't have your block, it's all good. You don't have to use one, and you can do it either on 1 or 2, right? I think I'm gonna go with 1 today. Feels better. And then get your knees onto the ground. You could lift your heels up by tucking your toes underneath you. I'm not worried about you really getting all of this rounding of the spine. I really want you to focus on opening the front side of your body. So bring your hands towards your low back and point your elbows back. Roll your shoulders up and down, and then open up your chest. Cricket your elbows back. Even just the cricketing of the elbows opens up your chest. Now squeeze the block lightly in between your thighs. Your hips will gently press forward, trying to keep them in alignment with your thigh bones and your knees. And then stretch the front side of your body. Take your gaze to the ceiling and breathe. On your inhale, bring your shoulders back over your knees. Release the block out from between your thighs, and as you exhale, just sit down onto your heels for a moment and roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest, open your collarbones, the crown of your head is lifting. Take one more inhale. And then slowly release as you exhale. Come down onto your seat. And take your, let's go, left leg out in front of you. The sole of your right foot towards your left inner thigh. So Janu Shirshasana A. On the inhale, reach your arms out and up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Relax your shoulders back and down. Bring your chest forward. Good. You can bend your left knee as much as you need to. And then you inhale to bring your shoulders back over your hips. And as you exhale, take your left leg out to the diagonal and bring the sole of your right foot towards your left inner thigh again. On your inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then as you exhale, take your left arm to the inside of your left calf and reach your right arm up and over. Relax your shoulder from your ear. Bow out through your right side body. And keep breathing. Long neck, long spine. Separating the ribs on the right side. One more exhale. And then inhale, lift your shoulders over your hips. As you exhale, your right hand behind your right hip. And then only if you're into it, swim your left arm forward as you lift up onto your right knee, your right shin. Your left leg goes straight. And your left foot is flat. Press your hips, press your chest forward. Take one more inhale. And then sit yourself down as you exhale. Now extend your right leg long and bring the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. Inhale, reach your arms out. Exhale, fold yourself down. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Pull your heart towards your right ankle. Breathe in and out. Let your shoulders and your traps go. And you inhale, bring your shoulders back up over your hips. As you exhale, slide your right leg out to the diagonal and bring the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. And then you exhale your right forearm in front of your right calf. Lift your left arm up and over. Really keep your left hip rooted to the ground. Good, y'all. Breathe. Maybe look underneath your left tricep. Completely exhale. On the inhale, stack your shoulders back over your hips as you exhale. Left hand behind your left hip. If it feels right, swim your right arm forward. Come onto your left knee, your left shin, and swim your right arm into the sky. One more inhale right here. And then you exhale to sit yourself back down. And we're going to move into our twisting here from a seated position. So extend your left leg back out long and then cross your right foot over your left thigh. Now sit up nice and tall. Right hand behind your right hip. Lift your left arm up to the sky. This is your inhale. Now twist to the right. You can hug your right knee in with your left arm, or you could hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. It's up to you. But think of your shoulders stacking over your hips. Your chest opens, your right shoulder moves back. Your gaze could go over your right shoulder. Just breathe. And you slowly look forward as you inhale. And then drop your hands over to the left as you exhale, a little counter twist. Come back through center, extend your right leg long and bend your left knee and slide your left foot outside of your right thigh. Left hand behind your left hip. Inhale to reach your right arm up into the sky. Flex your right foot. On the exhale, you can either hug your left knee in, opening your chest. Think of shoulders over hips. Crown of your head is over and just in between your shoulders. You could also take your right elbow and slide it outside of your left knee, your left thigh. Breathe. Gaze could go over your left shoulder. You're breathing in and out. And then on your inhale, turn your gaze back forward. And as you exhale, drop your hands over to the right and find your counter twist. Inhale, come back to center. Unravel both of your legs. And then as you exhale, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time until you're flat on your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And you can rock side to side here, or you can just be still for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your feet come down about hip width distance apart. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. You can gently press your right knee, right thigh away from you. You can stay right here or bring your left thigh in towards your chest for supine pigeon. Both feet would be slightly flexed. If you want something that's just a little bit more dynamic, like maybe a traditional half pigeon would have been, you can bring your right foot into the left elbow crease, your right knee into the right elbow crease, and extend your left leg long. Breathe here. Really focus on the sensations that you're feeling as you breathe in and breathe out. And then notice where you start to clench, where you're bracing. And see if you can lean into that a little bit. Relax and release what needs to be released. Take one more inhale. We all release both feet back down to the ground. Knees are bent, and then you windshield wiper your knees from side to side as you exhale. And then you'll come back to center. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. You could stay right here with your left foot flexed, or gently press your left knee, your left inner thigh away. These are places to stay. Where you bring your right thigh in towards your chest and flex your right foot. Relax your shoulders back and down. Stay right here, or cradle your left foot into your right elbow crease, your left knee into the left elbow crease, and then extend your right leg long. Notice it probably feels different from one side to the next. It's okay. Breathe into it. Don't force it. Relax your chest. Take one more inhale. And then gently release. Both feet back down to the ground for a moment. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Come back to center as you inhale. And happy baby as you exhale. Peace fingers to the big toes. Hands to the inner or outer arches of your feet. You're trying to get your thighs to go kind of parallel to the ground. Your low back stays flat. Good. Your soles of the feet just flexing towards the sky. If you would rather go into a wide straddle, you can. Take one more inhale. And then release your feet back down to the ground as you exhale. Knees are bent. And then inhale, lift your hips and slide your block underneath your low back. And then exhale, let your hips just settle down there. You can always go to your second height, your second level. Good, y'all. Take a supported bridge. Breathe. And then from here, you lift one leg up to the sky, followed by the other for your supported waterfall. Good, y'all. Breathe. Relax your face. Wiggle your jaw from side to side. Take one more inhale right here. And take your feet one foot at a time back down to the ground. Press your feet down, lift your hips, slide your block out from underneath you, let your hips come down to the ground. If you need any other movements, feel free to take them. Otherwise, extend your legs long, let your feet hang comfortably open, your arms down by the side body, your palms face up. And find your Shavasana. Let your low back, your low part of your body, the bottom side, feel rooted and grounded. It's heavy. And then the top side is light and weightless and floating. Just be here and breathe and rest. What you need is to be here a little bit longer and just tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath, to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, reach your arms up overhead until your full body stretch. And as you exhale, tuck your knees in towards your chest and wrap your arms around your shins. And then you can rock over to the right or roll up to your comfortable seated position right where you are. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest, sit up nice and tall. You can let your hands rest on your lap or on your knees, whatever feels better. As you take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for your body, for everything it just did for you for the last hour, for everything that it does for you every day. And in being grateful today, then we find hopefulness for tomorrow. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please reach out if you have questions, comments, need anything. I'm happy to help. Have a great afternoon. Peace be with each and every one of you. Namaste.